So good morning, everyone. I work at Necton, which is a microalgae producing company, and is also the coordinator of this European-funded project, REAL. And while the project has been advancing very well and the technology is ready, we found that the regulatory framework was not, and this is what we aim to showcase. So next slide, please. Thank you. And just to give you a bit of context on the project, we aim to face the challenge of the growing pressure on freshwater reserves, particularly those from agriculture, which produces a nutrient-rich source that microalgae can use to grow. And then we can obtain a nutrient-free water that can be safely discharged. Next slide, please. This project is funded under Horizon Europe to support the Green Deal, EU bioeconomy and global strategies, and is focused on the delivery of algae-based products and processes, as well as environmental services. The project began on July 2022 with a 48-month lifespan. Next slide, please. There was an animation here. But, well, this is just to showcase the concept of the project, which is based on a decentralized biomass production, where microalgae are cultivated next to greenhouses that provide water and nutrients for the algae to grow. These are concentrated in situ, and then they are moved to a centralized processing facility for the application of a multi-product biorefinery that culminates in the development of products for agriculture and aquaculture. Next slide, please. Hence, we have three objectives focused on the environmental impact and remediation, on the validation and demonstration of our concept, and of course, on its economic viability. And moving from lab to building a large infrastructure with the TRL7, this is where we found our primary triggers in the bottlenecks that we discovered. So next slide, please. Wait, one.
It won't get.
Four.
Yeah, it goes with a bit of delay, so
yeah. Okay, thank you. So the challenge here is that the current administrative framework categorizes microalgae as aquaculture, and but we need to operate on agricultural land to treat the greenhouse water in situ, and this created a jurisdictional conflict, basically on laws of land use that do not allow aquaculture activities on agricultural reserves. In addition to missing a legislative precedent, this issue also led to ambiguity over which authority actually had the power to say yes. Next slide. And this is the case study. So we have a demonstration facility to build in Portugal, and we faced two specific barriers. Based on the innovative nature of our concept, there was no box to tick. So we were in a ping pong between the Regional Development Commission and the Agricultural Reserve just to define the correct permitting pathway, because there was no correct path still laid out. And during this process, there was also an additional problem because the government collapsed and the caretaker government took over, and this paralyzed public decision-making for complex and non-standard projects like REAL. And this culminated in a delay of over 24 months of the project. Next slide, please. And the impact of these delays was very tangible. The completion of the construction was pushed past our validate in the grant agreement. Of course, mitigation plans were set in motion to avoid propagating the problem to other objectives of the project. And additionally, due to the project's biological nature and outdoor demonstration, we needed to ensure that we captured a full cycle of data rather than just a seasonal performance. Otherwise, our results will be skewed and unrepresentative. So next slide, please. And this brings me to our main problems. So we have high TRL innovation that is blocked because legislation lacks a category for innovative projects. This is quite similar to what was already mentioned. And specifically in Realm, we also encountered limitations regarding land use. And for this issue, because we also had a demonstration plant in Spain, although there was also some difficulties with the permits, this specific issue was actually non-existent because there was a possibility there to classify macroalgae as a special crop. However, this kind of possibilities is not harmonized within the different countries. And so in summary, I think that we need to create a specific box for innovation, so we aren't trapped between incompatible definitions or innovations that lack precedents, as well as harmonizing EU legislation.